What was that?
What was what?
I heard a noise.
Oh, it's nothing, honey.
Oh. There it is again.
What?
It's that noise again.
When you go back to sleep, I told you it's nothing, honey.
There's no mistaking that nut and honey taste. Crisp flakes of corn smothered in sweet honey and roasted peanuts.
Now I suppose that was nut and honey.
Nope.
Kellogg's nut and honey.
That was the milk.
Crunch.
An innocent discovery.
I wouldn't touch that if I were you.
A powerful weapon. Rocket. A deadly conspiracy.
They're working for a Nazi agent.
An extraordinary adventure.
Jenny's in trouble.
We got the girl.
Here it comes.
The rocket will come to us.
We're only gonna get one pass at this.
The Rocketeer, rated PG. Now playing at a theater near you. Check newspapers for showtimes.
My lord, the killer was eating cookies.
That's right.
But my client doesn't eat cookies. She eats Fig Newtons.
Case dismissed.
A cookie is just a cookie, but Newtons are fruit and cake.
I say, Drusilla, these cookies are stupendous.
Great Scott, Trevor. They're not cookies. They're Fig Newtons.
Terribly sorry. Most embarrassing blunder.
A cookie is just a cookie, but Newtons are fruit and cake.
Thick and mad.
Tiger attack!
Take some hedgehog tonic and go bionic and give Dr. Robotnik a dose of his own medicine. Sonic 3D Blast, the handheld game. Batteries not included.
In Tiger's handheld game inspired by Disney's Toy Story, you must guide Woody back to Andy. So grab your buddy Buzz Lightyear, escape Sid and his mean dog Scud, and win the game. Disney's Toy Story, the handheld game from Tiger. Batteries not included.
Laser Challenge Extreme Distance Super Laser. Shoots further. Rapid fire. Laser trap. It shoots in every direction, no matter where you come from. Laser Challenge EXD vests and trap each sold separately. Batteries not included from Timex. The challenge continues.
So I just gotta light 3?
3 in a row.
Sounds easy.
Think so?
Hey, where'd it go?
This game's tough.
Gotta keep track.
I think I won.
You've just begun.
Light 3. When you think you've won, you've just begun.
Come on!
The rocket fire fight at the speed of light. Keep up the fight at the speed of light wars.
Batteries not included.
Beeples, beeples, cute and cuddly beeples. Beeples, beeples, full of surprise. Open up the beeple, beeple, and the fun little beeple sucked inside. Just how many you will get is a surprise.
Nano, it's a game. Nano, so much fun. Nano, it's a virtual pal.
Keep it healthy, keep it clean. Keep it happy, it's a sing. Nano healthy, nano game. Nano baby, it's so pretty.
What are you gonna make your nano baby?
Now you can own Batman and Robin on video.
I got you.
No, I got you.
It's the one date you won't want to miss.
Cool party.
Own it on video. Soundtrack available on Warner Sunset Records. Rated PG-13.
Oh, hello. I would like to exchange this, please.
Okay, reason, sir?
Well, it's just too plain.
This happens a lot.
Oh, a Nestle Crunch. Oh, now that's more like it. You know.
Yeah, next.
Okay.
Nestle Crunch. It's just more fun to munch.
Welcome to the edge, brother. The place where mushrooms live at their own risk. Where the toppings meet the tongue and outer crust has been abolished. The Edge from Pizza Hut, where there's no outer crust and no inner longing. Where the toppings roam free and the taste runs deep. It's the Edge Pizza, and you're just $8.99 away from 16 pieces of pure, pulchritudinous toppings. Come on, have you been to the Edge?
Sunday, sweet little Tiffany's been arrested.
It wasn't me.
But she's not going quietly.
It's either butt kickings or lollipops, and I'm fresh out of lollipops.
On Happily Ever After. Then, close the blinds and turn off the lights. Carol discovers smut.
It's like a scene from Aliens.
Renee discovers something else.
Oh my God! That's the overnight parcel guy.
Check worked out and all knew all right already. After unhappily, Sunday.
The whole season comes down to
A ticket! There!
Something is about to change the way you see TV. Channel surfing, the game. Your team surfs the airwaves.
hot hunks of Hollywood.
Yes!
To find the stuff on the cards.
Hardware! Hardware?
Hey, it looks hard to wear to me.
No way.
It's not what you watch, it's what you see.
Lawn furniture! Lawn furniture!
Channel surfing, the game. It'll change the way you see TV.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Someone is playing a deadly game.
What do you want?
Just crazy.
Someone who's seen one too many scary movies.
Who are you?
The question is, where am I?
Critics say Scream is clever, hip, and scary. A complete original. The most enjoyable thriller of the year.
This isn't a movie. This is life.
Scream. Rated R. Starts Friday, December 20th at theaters everywhere.
Who gives you raging arcade gameplay, the most authentic sports games, and access to the internet all on your TV. Play games, surf the net, only on Sega Saturn.
Taco Bell introduces fajita wraps, a different taste from a whole new place.
Cut it up, spice it up, grill it up, wrap it up, mix it up, fire it up, fill it up, tear it up, wrap it up.
Sink your teeth into Taco Bell fajita wraps. Marinated grilled steak or chicken and roasted fresh veggies, all wrapped up and ready to rumba.
There's nothing ordinary about it. Wrap it up.
We're back! Bachelor number 3. Tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm thin. My screen is really sharp. I play all the Game Boy games, and of course, I'm silver.
Oh, I picked number 3!
Well, there you have it.
New Game Boy Pocket.
What's happening in the Cabbage Patch? Puppies and kitties with crimp and curl hair. 6 lovable pets to style here and there. We're gonna break your tail. Frisky crimp and curl pets, each sold separately. Let's get styling now.
Something hip, blue in the town, spraying art with a blaster there. It's the color blaster. Pump, pump, spray. Blast away.
Extra pens and stencils sold separately.
Color blaster.
It's a blast. Kitty Surprise is hiding. Look, she has baby kitties. Surprise, surprise, it's Kitty Surprise. How many kitties are there inside? 3 baby kitties. They're all so cute. There could be 3 or 4 or 5. I love kitties. Surprise, surprise, it's Kitty Surprise. 4 kitties. Beautiful baby kitties inside. 5 kitties, all different. Surprise, it's Kitty Surprise.
Kitty Surprise comes with 3, 4, or 5 baby kitties. 1 in 4 comes with 4 or 5, each sold separately.
Welcome, everyone. I'm glad everyone's here. Yeah, I've got a full pot of coffee for this one. Apparently, a lot of developments have taken place since I decided to do this live stream regarding this case. There's a little girl. She is 4 years old. Her name is Athena Brownfield, and she is a nonverbal autistic child. And there are a lot of details. At the same time, not a lot of details. But there has been a development. Apparently, there has been an arrest in connection to this. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump into that real quick before I start getting into everything else. But all of you that are here, I really appreciate it. I know that this is not. I know that there are other channels discussing Brian and the scratches on his face in court today, and things that are just so relevant and that matter after the fact. You can sense my sarcasm there. Yeah, none of that shit matters. As far as I'm concerned, I don't care about any of that. At this point, regarding the Brian Kohberger case, the Idaho victims, as far as that case is concerned, since there's a gag order and no official information can be released by law enforcement, I'm just going to wait till trial. I don't think any verifiable new information is actually going to come out, and I'm just not interested in anything that's not verifiable. So right now, there is a 4-year-old little girl missing, and we're going to discuss the details in that. Now, I have not. I am still very much educating myself in this case. I have not looked over everything. Cherry has sent me a stack of things to look over, but we're going to go over that stuff together. In the meantime, I'm going to go over this article here. And all right. So this is Alyssa Adams. This case takes place in Cyril, Oklahoma. And it says here that the primary caregiver of missing 4-year-old Athena has been arrested for child neglect, according to the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation. Alyssa Adams, 31, was booked into the Caddo County jail around 4 p.m. Thursday, according to online jail records. OSBI says she is being charged with 2 counts of child neglect, one for each of the children under her care. OSBI confirmed during a press conference Thursday Athena Brownfield and her sister were under the care of Adams and her husband. A search for Athena began Tuesday after her 5-year-old sister was found by a postal carrier wandering outside Adams' home on Nebraska Avenue. 4-year-old Athena remained missing as of 6 p.m. Thursday evening. During the press conference, OSBI reiterated their decision to call off volunteer searches the day before, saying the town and nearby abandoned buildings had already been covered in a grid search. Trash service in Cyril was paused Thursday as part of the investigation, and neighbors told 7 News they had submitted surveillance video to investigators. When asked if the Department of Human Services was involved, OSBI's public information officer said they would not be commenting at this time. DHS is a government agency responsible for public assistance programs, child abuse reporting, and more. This is a developing story. You can count on 7 News to bring you the latest updates. And we'll do that, 7 News, even though this is a Channel 6 article. But we'll do that, 7 News. So let me find some more stuff here, because this is Really, really sad. So apparently, just outside of the home, a mailman was on his route and he saw Athena's 5-year-old sister just wandering by herself. And a lot of questions came up. When I heard about this last night through Cherry, I was like, this doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Because I'm wondering why, how do they even know that there's a missing child? Because I don't think anybody had reported her missing, at least until the mailman said something. So I'm guessing, or was it a male woman? I'm just curious as to how did they even find out that this child even existed enough to even be missing? I guess maybe her sister may have said something to the postal worker. I'm not sure. But there is a presser here. Over that.
It's surreal. Date for you guys right now in the Athena Brownfield investigation. Alicia Adams was arrested today at 4:12 p.m. on 2 counts of child neglect. The counts are related to the 2 sisters, 4 and 5, who were in her and her husband's care. As you guys all know, the 5-year-old was found wandering outside of the Adams's house on West Nebraska and Cyril, and a postal carrier found the 5-year-old, and that's when police were notified. At this point, the investigation into her whereabouts continues. We are actually getting tips from across Oklahoma as well as multiple other states. As you also are aware, trash service in town was suspended. That was in an effort to search for additional clues as to Athena's whereabouts. Right now, I want everyone to understand we're still looking for her. Nothing has changed. Despite what's being said out there, we're looking for her. Our analysts and our team of multiple law enforcement agencies are reviewing surveillance video from around town, and again, pursuing any tip that comes in, following it up, and trying to identify any clues that can be used to locate Athena. As you know, we're being assisted by multiple law enforcement partners, and we really appreciate
Somebody's like
everything that
Siri.
everyone has done to assist us in locating this child. We're praying for her family and her relatives, and for the investigators who are looking for her. We also really appreciate and want to make it abundantly clear that this town has taken us in. They have taken care of us. The volunteers who've dedicated their time and energy are very much appreciated. A lot of people are reaching out, asking if there's anything they can do. Right now, we don't need volunteers to come down and look, because again, we're collecting clues and trying to locate her. But if that changes, of course, we'll let everybody know. But it should be noted that we appreciate that, and we appreciate the community of Cyril.
Now, I must interject here a little bit and point out my thoughts, which I think that a lot of us are thinking the same thing right now. And I'm not getting the indication that they are looking for a live child, unfortunately. I'm getting the indication that they believe something happened to this little girl, intentionally, if not accidentally, but intentionally covered up. And considering all the factors that we know of so far going over this case. Now, again, I haven't gone over everything, but just the little bit that I've gone over so far is they've made an arrest for child neglect, and they're searching dumpsters, and they've called off any volunteer searches. So at this point, it seems like they're looking more for evidence and are concerned about evidence being tainted in some way, shape, or form. And now they just want to stick to professionals searching at this point. And that is a bad sign. So let's just continue with the presser here.
I can't answer a lot of questions, you guys can try to pepper them at me, but that's pretty much all I can release at this time.
Can you confirm that woman who was arrested was the primary caregiver of the girls?
The girls were in the care of Miss Adams and her husband.
Is the husband going to be arrested as well?
No comment at this time.
See, I don't know if they know where the husband is. I don't know if they know where the husband is. I think that that's the issue. And I'm thinking, again, this is just me spitballing here, but I'm wondering if they arrested her under those charges in order to put heat on her and get her to at least give up his whereabouts or give some sort of confession or just straight up rat him out. So I don't know what's going on here exactly. Like I said, I'm just spitballing. I don't know. Maybe that's what, because it's all pretty feasible considering what we're looking at right now so far.
We'll get to that when the time's right.
Right. See, this sounds like an open investigation. They're not looking for answers from the public.
Transfer station.
They're looking for, they're basically just giving an update, and they're saying, we can't answer that. This is an open investigation. Can't answer that at this time. Can't answer that at this time. Now, a lot of times they would be giving a lot more information if they were hoping that somebody were going to turn this child up alive and healthy. So this is all very, very, very negative. I'm hoping I'm wrong.
Stations, including the one in Ninnekah or Fletcher.
I can't confirm that. I'm not aware of that, but I can say, you know, again, we were looking for any clues as related to the trash, any little piece of evidence that we could secure that might give us a tip as to where she is. That included the trash.
So is this now considered a nationwide search for her?
I wouldn't go that far. It's just, you know, I think that demonstrates how this story is so impactful and how many people care about this child.
And that's another fact.
I want to see her return.
That's another fact is there is no Amber Alert put out for this child. That's another sign right there. I mean, if they're hoping to recover this child safely, it's not looking as though that they're hoping for it much. You know, an Amber Alert means that they believe the child to be in danger. And if they're not looking on a nationwide level, you know, if they were looking for a healthy, safe child, what they would do is, right, it didn't meet the criteria. That happens a lot. That happened with the Sophie case. They didn't put an Amber Alert out for Sophie when Michael took her to Mexico, and it's because they didn't feel that Sophie was in danger with her father. But that's a different story. This is a much different situation than that. If it didn't meet the criteria, it could be that she's suspected to be with the guardian, and they don't have any reason to believe that the guardian is of a danger to this child in some way, shape, or form. So that's probably why they did not put an Amber Alert out for baby Athena. So let's just keep listening to the rest of these questions.
Are returned, and you know, people are phoning in those tips from across the country, and we're following everything.
Has the doorbell camera, the urgency to get a hold of that, has that helped at all in your search?
I don't know that there's a lot of doorbell cameras that have been turned in, but we have a lot of surveillance video from around town that we are analyzing as we speak. So
is DHS involved?
No comment at this time. I'm going to leave it at that, guys. I don't know if I'll have another update tonight, but I wanted to make sure that you were aware.
I like her.
That we do have those arrests, 2 counts of child.
She's all business.
Thank you all.
All right, we're getting the latest information from OSBI right now on this missing 4-year-old, Athena Brownfield, who was reported missing out of Surreal on Tuesday. Now learning from state investigators that Alicia Adams.
Now, before they go on with that, Shelley Brook is saying the town is small. That's absolutely true. From what I read, this town only has 1,000 people. It has a population of 1,000. So yeah, that's a small town.
Adams has been arrested on 2 counts of child neglect, and that Athena and her little sister were in the care of this woman and her husband. We're going to take a break right now. Stay with KOCO for more information.
Now, of what relation is this Alyssa woman to Athena and her sister? I'm curious about that. I'm just going to randomly click on a lot of the stuff that Sherry sent me here. We have this is an earlier presser. I'm not sure from when this was. I think it was yesterday or the day before. But this is a bit of an earlier presser. Same spokeswoman.
As far as any updates from the briefing from this morning, we've added some additional partners that are coming to assist with the investigation, including the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. They're helping us out. The Comanche Nation is coming to help, as well as Fort Sill is providing some soldiers for the search operations that OHP is running with their ERTs. We've been out all day conducting those grid searches with volunteers, and we really appreciate their support along with OHP support in managing that effort. We are collecting items that could be relevant. I'm not going to call them evidence, but we are finding things around town that could be helpful in this case. One of the questions from this morning was about the health and condition of the 5-year-old that was found yesterday. Excuse me. We can report that she did not require medical care at the time. Of course, she was frightened. That goes without saying when you're a 5-year-old. She's currently in protective custody with the state, but she did not require any sort of medical care at the time. We really appreciate all the tips that have been called in to our tip line. We encourage anybody in town, whether you're a business owner or a resident, that if you have any sort of video cameras or Ring doorbell systems, if you can come down to the church and provide that to law enforcement, it will be very beneficial. Let's see. We're still working on putting together the exact timeline, but again, I can confirm that this investigation really kicked off yesterday about 2 p.m. when the postal carrier located the 5-year-old and contacted the police department. And then we got involved later that night. And then, of course, all of our law enforcement partners have joined us, and we've been looking for her nonstop since the original call came into the police department. With that, I'm going to let Trooper Foster answer some questions about OHP resources that are out here and also address the Amber Alert.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So the Oklahoma Highway Patrol was requested last night, and obviously we're here to assist. And so we brought all of the resources that are available to be able to come and assist. We've been in the air with helicopter, with infrared. We've been on the ground. Obviously, you've seen around town. There are a lot of grid searches on foot going around and on four-wheelers, things like that. And so our ERT team, which is a team specially trained to go on foot in search of people and things, are out in coordination with civilians who have come and wanted to volunteer their time and effort.
Just the name of the town is called Cyril.
Especially in Oklahoma, we see that.
It's Cyril, Oklahoma, from what I understand.
All the time.
Never heard of it.
Oklahoma Highway Patrol also is utilizing boats on some of these small ponds out here to make sure that we check waterways and check those thoroughly to make sure all of that is done appropriately with sonar and things like that we can see in the water. And so the Oklahoma Highway Patrol is very much involved in just assisting whatever needs to be done that is requested from OSBI and the city of Cyril. You know, our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone involved. And really, you know, I reach out and say, pray for all of those involved, not just on the law enforcement side, but there are a lot of people,
that makes
there are a lot
sense.
of civilians, there are a lot of resources being put.
If that's the case, and I'm referring to the comment here by Kelly Rayborn, Amber Alert plans require law enforcement to confirm an abduction prior to issuing an alert. Now, that's interesting because apparently these two people were her guardians. And the mom, or not the mom, but Alyssa, she is under arrest on 2 counts of child neglect. And I guess that would mean, her sister too, who was found by the mail carrier. And this, the Amber Alert situation, I find very interesting, based on your comment here, because that would explain a lot. I mean, unless the person, Alyssa, reports that her husband has abducted the child, and even still, if he has custody, then does that count as an abduction? You see what I'm saying? So they can't. I mean, if one of the people who legally have some sort of guardianship over this child, and that person takes off with the child, and nobody would report that as being nefarious in any way, shape, or form, well, then there's no crime. There's no Amber Alert. Now, she's considered missing because nobody knows where she is, but they can't issue an Amber Alert unless there's an abduction, and that's technically, legally speaking, probably not considered an abduction. So this is a very complicated situation right here. Yeah, very disheartening.
Being put into this, that this is done appropriately. To answer the Amber Alert question, there have been a lot of questions on the Amber Alert. The Amber Alert has specific guidelines that we have to adhere to push out the Amber Alert specifically. The Amber Alert goes out nationwide. So once we push that button, it goes all the way to Washington, D.C. and goes out like that. So there's specific things and guidelines that we have to follow. Not every part of that guideline came into play in this. And so that wasn't done. So the next best thing that we could do was a missing and endangered notification. That went out in a 15-mile radius in around where we
15
knew
miles?
That the person was missing.
Not statewide?
And so that's why you didn't get it statewide. Those emergency alerts didn't go statewide. It went locally.
You just said it went
and
nationwide.
That was really the important time frame that we needed to get that
That
out.
pisses me off right there. That pisses me off. And I'm not trying to trash law enforcement, but I mean, they're only allowed to do what they're within the boundaries, what the law allows them to do. So a 15-mile, I mean, a missing and endangered. Okay. If she's endangered, doesn't that at least qualify for a statewide alert? I mean, a 15-mile radius is nothing. 15 miles is nothing. And he's saying it with such confidence that it's pissing me off. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to lie here. Like, I want to like this guy, and I know that those aren't his decisions. And I know that his job is to control public, just try to manage how the public looks at these things. And he has to present himself a certain way. And he can't sound timid in their decision making. But 15 miles seems like absolutely nothing. That's not reassuring at all. Like, I mean, as well as the fact that she is now, I don't know, because I'm seeing mixed things where she's just shy and withdrawn, or she's autistic and nonverbal. One of the two. I don't know exactly which is fact, but if she is autistic and nonverbal, well, then, I mean, come on. If the one child was found just wandering around, like, yeah, it should be a statewide thing. I think it merits it, but I mean, I don't make the rules, and I don't know what they base making the rules on. So
that out. And it was pushed on social media. All of the news outlets were able to get that immediately. And so it was done in a very efficient way by guidelines. And there are reasons for those guidelines.
Well, Sarge sells cars. I agree.
Puts out those guidelines to help us.
I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, 4 years old right there makes her endangered. So why not a statewide, at least statewide? I understand the Amber Alert goes nationwide. Fine. But the missing and endangered thing should go statewide is all I'm saying. 15-mile radius means nothing. A child could wander for 15 miles. I mean, that's not.
Kind of put that together. And so that's kind of the answer on that. Brooke?
Yeah. I just want to conclude with a couple of things. There's a lot of talk about this investigation on social media. Obviously.
All right. Before I let her continue that, because I'm interested in what she's saying there. But Stacy Ritchie asks, where is Summer Wells? Is her case still open? Never hear anything about it anymore. I'm glad that I don't hear anything about it on social media anymore. But the Summer Wells case is not closed, and it's not cold. It's not been deemed as a cold case yet. The Hawkins County Sheriff's Department and the TBI have assured everyone numerous times that the case is very, very, very much open. But yeah, it's just not the thing to talk about now because there haven't been any developments. It's just better that now law enforcement can conduct their investigation quietly. And I really hope that they find something out. But unfortunately, yeah, right now there's no updates on Summerwell, so we don't know where she is. Check email troll. Who the fuck you be talking to? Fucking, right? I'm the governor. I'm the governor. You understand? I'm the governor. Hold on. Let me find, see what this is. Her bullshit. What is this? All right. So this is the Amber Alert guideline. The Amber Plan should only be activated when a child 17 years of age or younger or an individual under proven mental or physical disability is abducted and there is reason to believe the victim is in imminent danger of serious bodily injury or death. Okay, so they don't probably have any reason to feel that way yet. They have to have evidence to get that frame of mind. And technically, in theory, I wouldn't say that she was abducted, not legally speaking. If the person that she's under guardianship with, and that person takes off with her, well, I mean, that's not an abduction. If anybody else did, that's not an abduction. So, okay. Now let's see what she says about social media here.
We can't stop that, but it can be counterproductive to the investigation. So I would encourage people not to report or spread rumors or innuendos that they see on social media. And lastly, I think on behalf of all of us here and involved, all of the volunteers, we would like to thank the community. If you haven't been inside, there's just been an outpouring of food and water.
It's funny how
for the law enforcement and the searchers here.
It's funny how these spokespeople for law enforcement always end up saying this in these press conferences, and yet nobody seems to fucking follow through. Nobody seems to just spread the word. It's a missing child, but don't spread rumors. Know the difference between a rumor and fact. But nobody seems to. It's so sad that they have to do this every time.
We can confirm she's 4. Originally, we thought she was 3, but she is 4. Thank you.
Where are the parents right now?
That's part of the ongoing investigation.
I'm the maternal grandmother.
Okay.
My son's informed, dealing with what he needs to deal with.
Okay.
I have another question. So when was she last seen? We've seen Sunday, we've seen Friday. When was the last time she was seen?
Did you see her reaction?
Building that timeline, and we're working and talking.
Did you see her reaction?
And talking to witnesses and neighbors, and we're working and.
We've seen Sunday, we've seen
To deal with.
Okay.
I'm the maternal grandmother.
Thank you. How old is Athena? We've seen 3. And
Okay, so watch her reaction when asked where the parents are.
3, but she is 4.
Thank you.
Where are the parents right now?
That's part of the ongoing investigation.
She was caught off guard with that. Now, here's the thing.
Okay. I have another question.
I believe that they believe, and normally I like to be very optimistic, but after following these cases one after the other, what law enforcement is telling me without telling me is that they have evidence that have led them to believe, or at least entertain the idea, for lack of a better term, and actually investigate that Athena is no longer with us. And I think that my theory right now is I think that law enforcement, now I don't know. I don't have anything to base this on. This is just a speculative theory right here. I don't have anything to base this on other than what I'm seeing. Well, no, I still have hope too, Cherry. I want to be clear about that. I'm talking about what law enforcement is showing me what they believe. I believe that law enforcement is now investigating more of a focus on the possibility that she is no longer with us. I don't, I'm not making these things up, and I'm not, I wish that weren't true. And I hope that it's not true. I hope that I'm very wrong about it. But with everything that we're seeing right now, it's looking like the dad, because nobody knows where the dad is. I mean, I don't like to call him the dad, but the male counterpart, the male semi-parental unit involved in that situation, nobody knows where he is. So he's missing, she's missing, do the math. Then you have mom who's arrested on 2 neglect charges. And apparently the mail carrier, when she found Athena's sister, the 5-year-old, the mail carrier walked her to the house and looked around and did not see anybody at home. So it looks like they probably left the children alone, or left her alone. And I mean, I just don't know. I don't know. But there definitely looks like they are investigating foul play to a certain degree. Now, obviously, they're always going to maintain that as a possibility. And yeah, the girls were the girls abandoned? Like, where is Athena? That's the issue. We know one of the girls was basically abandoned, but where is Athena? And where is the male parental part of that dynamic? Where is he? So, another speculative theory. Again, this is just speculation. But possibly maybe something happened to Athena. And they, in a panic, decided to abandon the 5-year-old and take off. I don't know. Again, these are just theories. But the female has been arrested and charged just recently, like just a couple of hours ago, arrested and charged with 2 counts of neglect. But wouldn't child abandonment be a charge too? I don't know.
Another question. So when was she last seen? We've seen Sunday, we've seen Friday. When was the last time she was seen?
Well, as I mentioned, we're still building that timeline, and we're working and talking to witnesses.
That's another thing, folks.
And, people in town.
If you're thinking that the reason why I haven't gone over a timeline here is because I suck at true crime, well, then you would be correct. But in this particular case, it's because there fucking is no timeline. They haven't even put together a timeline yet. everything's too unclear. The only people that would actually know the answers to this are the two parents that they are looking like they're holding accountable for something here. So well, okay, well then maybe legally they don't have rights to the girls, but I mean, if someone put them in their care, let's find out real quick what see if I can find some. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, yeah, this is that's regarding the search. But I want to know more about the family dynamic. Does this say anything about it? All right, so I'll read what Coco News 5 ABC says is a timeline of events here. So the investigation into Athena's disappearance started around 2 p.m. Tuesday after a mail carrier found an unattended 5-year-old girl whom OSBI says is Athena's sister near their home in the 200 block of West Nebraska Avenue in Cyril. Oklahoma law enforcement and the FBI have conducted searches and an investigation into the disappearance since then. Brooke Arbitman with Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation said law enforcement is working to put together an exact timeline of when Athena was last seen. So they still don't have a timeline. That is a confirmation right there that they do not have a timeline yet. Here's that quote. We're still working on putting together the exact timeline. But again, I can confirm that this investigation really kicked off yesterday at 2 p.m. when the postal carrier carried the 5-year-old and contacted the police department. And then when we got involved later that night, Arbitman said, then, of course, all of our law enforcement partners have joined us, and we've been looking for her nonstop since the original call came into the police department. Now, and I'm still, yeah, we already know about the Amber Alert. And this is what we still do not know, is an exact timeline of when Athena went missing, where Athena's parents are. When asked about where Athena's parents are, Arbitman said that's part of the ongoing investigation. Also, what we do not know is, does law enforcement suspect foul play? If so, are there any suspects? And I think they suspect foul play. That's where I'm at right now. I think law enforcement suspects foul play, most definitely. I mean, obviously, to some degree, foul play has taken place. They have the probable cause to believe that foul play has taken place, considering that they have enough to charge the woman with neglect. Tracy, thank you so much. Thanks for giving true crimers a safe space, a safe place to learn about and discuss their cases. It's my pleasure. Thanks for being here. You know, I'm not one of the true crime creators. Like, I wouldn't compare myself to someone like, you know, Annie or Grizzly True Crime or anybody like that. I just, you know, when it comes to missing kids, I want to be able to use my platform to spread the word as best as I can. And I'm just really, really anal about not spreading misinformation. And that is my biggest pet peeve, is the spread of misinformation when it comes to these cases, because it hinders the chances of finding these kids safely. And it hinders justice from taking place when it's a murder case. So that's usually what you'll see me ranting and raving about most of the time. But once in a while, it's important that, you know, we share cases like this and any information that we have. But this one for me is just not looking good. And I never thought I would be so pessimistic, but I'm just going based on what I'm seeing law enforcement's behavior as. So allegedly mom left them with these people and took off. Then Alyssa left them and her kids with hubby. Then hubby allegedly went to Atlanta with his kids and left the girls behind. Wow. Oh, man. This is one of those times I kind of wish I still lived in Atlanta. But I mean, if they know he's in Atlanta, you know, I mean, I'm pretty confident that we're going to hear, I'm pretty confident that we're going to hear some news regarding him. I mean, they're going to find this guy. They seem to have their shit together, but they're going to find this guy. But if there's no Amber Alert and it's not nationwide and everything within a 15-mile radius is covered, I'm not seeing a whole lot of results happening. I'm just not foreseeing that. 15-mile radius search, that's, you know, I mean, and you got the state troopers involved like that. Doesn't that give you statewide jurisdiction to some degree? If you have the state troopers assisting with the investigation, wouldn't that mean that you need a statewide, you would need that statewide support? That's the whole point of going to the state troopers, I would think, is to get that statewide support. So I hope that I'm only hearing half of what what was being talked about there, because it did not sit right with me at all. 15 miles, especially in a town of 1,000 people, really? That's not much of a canvas, is all I'm saying. It's not much of a canvas, especially if, I mean, I don't know. That's just a rumor. That's just somebody in my chat that said that the guy went to Atlanta. I don't know if that's even true. I don't know how verifiable that is. So far, we don't really have much information. Actually, there is, hold on, let me take a look here. I think Cherry sent me a statement from somebody on Facebook. Who was claiming to be the grandmother. And then there was the maternal the woman who said she was the maternal grandmother in, at the presser. And I think this is, yes, here we go. Okay. Kelsey 206, thank you so much. Thank you for always making sure people are getting factual information. I do the best I can. And there's a lot of good channels out there that do, bigger channels, and I'm just grateful for them too, man. You know, the bigger ethical channels, I'm a big fan of. You know, as long as justice is served and nobody fucks with that, I'm happy. So this says here, from a family member of the missing child from Cyril, Athena Brownfield. I am a family member of Athena Brownfield. I have followed TCS for a very long time. These are the facts that we know of now. Before I start, we just found all of this out last night. Like everybody else, we have plenty of members, including myself, that would have taken the girls. We just didn't know anything. Okay, so she's basically saying there's a lot of members of the family that if they had known what was going on, they would have been happy to take the girls in. Athena and her older sister, Adina, were in the care of another family member, not the bio parents. There was no custody order at all in place. They were just being cared for by another family member. There were a total of 6 kids in the house, 4 that belonged to the couple, 2 that were another family members, and the wife left a week ago. That would be Athena. The wife left a week ago and nobody knew where she was. Later on, found out she was in the city staying with a new boyfriend. All 6 kids were left with the husband. Saturday, the husband showed up in Arizona with his 4 kids and told all of our family that other 2 were dropped off with the other grandparent. Interesting. The mail lady was delivering mail yesterday when Adina walked out crying and said she was hungry and couldn't find her sister. The mail lady stepped in the house, found there was no adults, and contacted authorities. The authorities contacted the owner of the house, which is another local family member, and he told them who actually lived in the house. They contacted the wife, and she stated she left all kids with her husband, and she didn't leave them there by themselves. The authorities located the husband in Arizona with his kids, and he told them he dropped them off with the other grandparent, which is obviously not true. We aren't super sure exactly what day it was she was last seen. Wow. Also, she is not nonverbal. She is just super quiet and super shy, okay? Both of these people are at fault, no matter which story is true. However, right now, the one thing I want to focus on is not pointing fingers, is where is Athena? We are asking anybody in the area, please check your properties and your cameras if you have any. So there's that. Now, that's the thing, is that somebody just claiming to be a family member. Now, I don't know how verifiable that is. That's just a social media post. You know, as far as I'm concerned, now that sounded really convincing, and I'm not saying it's not true, mind you, but you can't cherry pick what you take with a grain of salt here. As much as we want that to be verifiable and true, it's not verified yet, and that's all there is to it. You know what I mean? I'm taking it with a grain of salt, but I am keeping it in the old noodle as possibilities of that being the case. But I figure if they know the general area where this guy is, well, why not just pick him up? You know? I mean, you know, it sounds like there's a lot of information there for law enforcement to go on, and law enforcement was not indicating that they had that much information. Now, I'm sure they do have a lot of information, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not seeing law enforcement generally has more information than we're made aware of. That's just a very normal, common thing. It's something you could practically count on, is that law enforcement knows a lot more than you even think that they know. So I'd love for the dad of the other kids to get picked up. I'd love that to happen. But I gotta say that I'm hopeful, but I'm not very optimistic as far as the well-being of Athena. But I am very hopeful. Oh my God. Yeah. So, basically. Yeah. So Athena's older sister was apparently just very hungry, saying that she was hungry, and that she didn't know where her sister was, which is the saddest image that I could possibly think of right now. Yeah, I would say if they're being, see, that's another another thing that we have to consider. In our experience in following these types of cases, and so many cases that are even kind of like these cases, when law enforcement, when it comes to a missing persons case, law enforcement only keeps certain things close to the vest when they are investigating foul play. It doesn't necessarily mean that they suspect foul play. It means that they are investigating foul play. It means that they are looking into it. So, usually when it's just a missing child and it's just about finding the child, they're going to say as much as possible. But whenever any of the family is mentioned, law enforcement shuts down, says that's part of our investigation. We can't discuss that. So I find that very telling. But I really hope that Athena is somewhere out there safe, and she gets the right care that she needs to get. Halloween 1980, you're welcome. Thanks for being here. Yeah, and I don't really think there's any more information on this, guys. I think as far as that case goes, that's all there is. I'll probably start talking about another case because I started talking about this with Cherry last night, which was the Anna and Brian Walsh case. So Anna Walsh is missing. I don't know a lot of details about it so far, but I saw a little bit and I was just like, what? And I know that some other creators are talking about it now too. But I'm going to probably look into that. I might go live about that tomorrow. I'm not sure 100%. And whatever developments happen with this case, of course, I'm going to keep everybody posted on that. Yeah, that's the thing is, I mean, yeah, I don't know the story, but this dude seems like a shitbag, you know? The question is, does being a shitbag automatically make you guilty of a crime that apparently we don't know took place? I mean, she is just missing, right? So far, Anna Walsh. And a beautiful girl too, man. So sad. Anna Walsh and King Farquaad. Okay. I don't know what that means. Yeah, apparently, I mean, I don't know exactly, like something that they found like a hatchet and a fucking hacksaw and some other shit. Like, what? Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. Maybe we'll just look into that real quick. All right. Let's educate ourselves on the Walsh case real quick. And then I'll just change the title or something or the description or whatever. Not even. I really don't give a shit. All right.
When you're on Slack, you can say what you think, and then you can edit it, fix it, adjust it, add an emoji, and make sure that the actual intent of what you were saying gets across and not what you said when you were tired at the end of the day.
Get 50% off Slack Pro, a more
Slack.
pleasant way to
I
work.
thought you said crack. When you're on crack. What the fuck is this guy smiling about?
Brian, what do you want the public to know about this case?
Yo. What's he charged with?
Brian, what do you want the public to know about this case?
Is this just going to keep playing over and over again? Is that what's going on? Yeah, okay. I thought maybe there was like a story. Okay, so it says here Anna Walsh is still missing after nearly 2 weeks. Her husband is in jail for allegedly misleading police, and their 3 young sons could be separated in the foster care system. The dire situation has Anna's friends in tears as they plead with Anna's husband, Brian Walsh, to cooperate with police. For the sake of your own children, quoting here, have the dignity, have the guts to step up and tell the truth about what happened, Natasha Skye told Fox News Digital during an emotional interview in her home. Another quote here. Why did you hide information? Why did you mislead police? Skye said. Why did you search on Google how to get rid of a body? What? How did you buy cleaning supplies? Why did you buy cleaning supplies? Ann Walsh mysteriously vanished from her Cohasset, Massachusetts home on New Year's Day, but wasn't reported missing until January 4th, when she didn't show up to her job at a Washington, D.C. based real estate firm. Despite her years-long friendship with Anna, Skye never met Brian and said Anna swept the art fraudster's criminal history under the rug. What? I understand that he wanted to be super successful, but he did not succeed, Skye said. And maybe her success was bothering him, but it's just my guess. Brian Walsh was arrested Sunday and accused of lying to police about his whereabouts on January 1st and January 2nd, according to the probable cause affidavit. Ooh, is that here? Oh, that's just another article. Okay. Oh, no, but it's here. Yeah. Holy crap. Okay. We'll go over that too. In an interview with investigators, Walsh failed to mention his January 2nd trip to Home Depot in violation of his probation, where he bought $450 in cleaning supplies. Jesus. Oh my God, dude. This guy's a shitbag. And why is he smiling? Yeah, this guy's... Listen, y'all. Again, man, I don't know what it is lately, but dude, I'm telling y'all right now, that dude's guilty as fuck. I'm just saying, I don't mean to laugh at the situation, but if I've ever seen anybody fucking guilty as fuck of a crime, it's that dude right there. Like, there is no coincidence that all of that shit happened and that dude is not responsible. Like, that shit is a lock. We're going to read the affidavit now. I'm telling you right now. Oh my God. I'm only laughing at how fucking guilty this guy is. Like, that's insane. And wow. He was wearing a black surgical mask and blue surgical gloves and paid in cash, according to the affidavit. Two law enforcement sources told CNN that police found internet records showing that the convicted art swindler had searched how to dismember a body and how to dispose of a 115-pound woman's body. Oh my God, that dude is guilty as fuck. Investigators reportedly found trash bags with blood, a hatchet, and a hacksaw in a Swampscott waste facility, which is about an hour away from the Walsh's home, sources told WBZ TV. Oh my God, dude. Hold on. How do I... Because I want to be able to read this. I guess I got to download it. All right. And then I'll just... Okay. Sweet, dude. But I have to just read it because I don't think it'll let me share. No, it's just not. Wait. Oh, yeah, it is. Sweet. Okay. So this is the affidavit right here. And I just want to find I just want to get to the details of this. All right. And then there's all this stuff about, that they have to say that all of this is not, truthful and blah, 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 blah. So it starts off saying on January 4th, 2020. Now I can't see chat right now. So if I miss anything, I apologize. But yeah, so I'm going to read this thing directly, so I can't see chat right now. I'll pull it up on my phone, so if something catches the corner of my eye, but so on January 4th, 2023, the Cohasset Police Department responded to a call of service related to a well-being check at Chief Justice Cushing Highway Patrol Unit suspected Mrs. Walsh to be a missing person, and I was subsequently requested to the scene to assist in the investigation as a member of the Cohasset Police Department's Criminal Investigation Division. On January 4th, 2023, at approximately 1835, I arrived at the Chief Justice Cushing Highway to investigate a missing person, Ann Walsh. Investigators interviewed Walsh multiple times in relation to the disappearance of his wife. Walsh was asked specifically to provide a timeline for the days of January 1st, 2023 and January 2nd, 2023, and did so on multiple occasions. Walsh related he had New Year's Eve dinner with a friend, Jem, which he and Anna hosted at their home. Jem arrived around 8:30 p.m. and left around 1 or 1:30 a.m. Walsh related he and Anna went to bed shortly after Jem left. Walsh further related Anna told him she had a work emergency and needed to fly back to D.C. In the morning. Walsh related Anna get ready and kissed him goodbye and told him to go back to sleep. Anna will usually then take an Uber, Lyft, or taxi to the airport. Anna left between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. Walsh and Anna have 3 children, and then that's redacted, thank goodness. And I'm going to give you guys the I'm gonna post the link to this affidavit in chat here. Actually, no, I'm not. For some reason, it kind of doxes me. It's kind of weird. But whatever. But I will put the article. So this is the article where I got the affidavit. And I'll post that in chat. And then you could download the affidavit from there. Walsh related he got up around 7 a.m. Okay, now this is like a bad copy, so some of this I can't read. Like it's blurred out, as you can see. It's like, you see that? It's just so I'll do the best I can. 7 a.m. and made breakfast for the boys. In the afternoon, a babysitter arrived at the house. Walsh left to run errands. And then I can't read that. I think it says something about 3 p.m. maybe. Walsh went to Shaw's to get OJ and milk, then came back home. He left again at about, and then I can't see that either, which is kind of important. Mother who lives at blank and 1320 Swampscott. At the time, Walsh did, and then again. So we're not going to get a real effective timeline here by reading this, guys, unfortunately, because it's just a bad copy. It's a photocopy of an actual page. It's not even like a downloaded, just, file sharing thing. This is a bad photocopy of the actual printed out page. And it cuts off and it's just bad. But on Friday, January 6th, 2023, well, hold on. I'll read what I can here. Within about 15 minutes of arriving in his mother's condo, he left to run errands for his mother at the Whole Foods and CVS in Swampscott to get groceries and cleaning wipes. Walsh went back to his mother's condo and then arrived home at Cohasset at about 8 p.m. Walsh related one of the boys must have taken and lost his phone during the New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Walsh related on Monday, January 2nd, 2023, his cell phone was found under somebody's pillow. Walsh related on Monday, January 2nd, he took one of the kids for ice cream while his babysitter watched the other kid, and Walsh took this kid to get chocolate shake at Press at Norwell. On Friday, January 6th, 2023, a massive search that included K-9 officers, Metro LEC Search and Rescue, State Police, SERT team members, State Police investigators, Coasset Police, and other local police partners was underway for the missing person, Ann Walsh. The search resumed on the morning of January 7th, 2023. That afternoon, at least 6 investigators were tasked with driving the North Shore area of Massachusetts to verify Walsh's route of travel and verify his visits to establishments like Whole Foods and CVS. These investigators were reassigned from the other tasks and efforts to locate Ann. Okay, so right there, what they're basically explaining is that they reassigned the efforts to search for her to look for this guy and arrest him. To find evidence to arrest him. Multiple investigators spent multiple hours in the afternoon and evening of January 7th, 2023, traveling and viewing video. Walsh was not observed on video from Whole Foods or CVS in the time frame he stated that he was there. Walsh has been convicted in federal court of felony fraud by wire and is currently on pre-sentencing probation. The probation conditions include monitoring and home confinement. Walsh must request leave from his home each week and specify the time and need for such leave. On the week beginning Sunday, January 1st, 2023, Walsh was granted leave for dropping his children off at school each day from 8 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. and picking up the kids from 3:15 p.m. to 6:45 p.m. Among other approved leave times was 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. for shopping on Wednesday, January 4th, 2023. On Sunday, January 1st, 2023, Walsh had requested travel between 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. to drop off his mother. Walsh told investigators that his mother had a recent cataract surgery and she was staying with him at his residence so he could assist her. Walsh said that he had this time scheduled so he could bring her home after her recovery. During the interviews with Walsh, he stated that his mother had recovered from the surgery quicker than expected and had driven herself home. However, he still used the time he had approved to go visit her and run errands for her. The errands were the trips to the Whole Foods and CVS, and investigators later showed did not occur through hours of viewing video evidence. It is also important to note that this is the day one of Anna being missing. This is day one of Anna being missing. Walsh's statements to investigators about his whereabouts on Monday, January 2nd, 2023 were consistent in that he took his oldest child for ice cream and a smoothie. Yeah, this is going to be tough to read. Again, it's another, like, I guess there's something in the copier. There's something on the copier, like lens or whatever, that's like causing that to happen. I'll just skip to the next paragraph. The data from Walsh's cell phone data extraction given on yeah, that's blotted out too, showed that the device traveled to the areas of Brockton and Abington during the week beginning January 1st, 2023. The itinerary for Walsh's leave from home does not include such towns for approved travel. This is not a complete list of Walsh's approved leave from the home and possible probation violations. Wow. Okay. So he's already breaking the law. He's already in violation of his probation. The intentional, willful, and direct responses to questions about his whereabouts on the days of Sunday, January 1st, 2023, and Monday, January 2nd, 2023, were a clear attempt to mislead and delay investigators. Investigators explained to Walsh that he would naturally be suspected of harming his wife due to her disappearance, and they would proceed to account for his whereabouts. The fact that he was asked a specific question and he gave an untruthful answer that led investigators out of the area caused a clear delay in the search for the missing person, Ann Walsh. Walsh intentionally gave the untruthful statement, knowing investigators would need to travel and corroborate each statement. In any criminal investigation or investigation into a missing person, physical evidence and video evidence has the risk of being lost. I know from training and experience that physical evidence, specifically evidence that is outside of the elements, may deteriorate over time. I also know that video evidence varies in retention time. Video files may be overwritten as frequently as every 24 hours, and every second is valuable when searching for such evidence before it is lost. So yeah, basically they totally suspect this guy of murdering his wife. They absolutely suspect him of murdering his wife, clearly. And they're charging him with lying about her whereabouts. So yeah, it's pretty obvious. Like I'm looking at what these guys found, and I'm telling you, this guy is beyond guilty. Like, I've never seen anything so open and shut since the Joel Guy Jr. case. You guys remember that? I covered that. It was a long time ago. But I covered this guy's trial, and it was unbelievable. I think this guy decided to defend himself, maybe, but maybe he had a public defender. I don't remember. But Joel Guy Jr. like basically just made a blueprint. Like, he even wrote in journals like what he was going to do and how, and describe how he was going to do it, and how he was going to get rid of everybody's body. And he did it in the most laziest, half-assed way possible, and documented it. And then the receipts for the very things that his family's members that were dismembered, the receipts for purchasing the things were found in his home, which was miles and miles away from the crime scene. The crime scene was at the family's house, the parents' house. This is the guy who murdered his parents, and just like totally left as much possible evidence to connect him to this as possible. I mean, we're talking receipts with timestamps on them where you could see him on camera buying the shit. And he kept journals in his home of what. Actually, no. Okay, I'm getting that wrong. The receipts were found at the crime scene, but they were purchased from the place by his home, from the nearest store by his home. I think it was a Lowe's. Susan M., thank you so much for the Boomer Troll Will. I appreciate that. Yeah, so he at the crime scene, he left the receipts for the stuff that they found at the crime scene that was used to try to get rid of the evidence, which was like he made some weird concoction of acid to dissolve the members, the dismembered parts of his parents' bodies, and put it in like in pots and pans all around the house. It was just fucking gross. And he even kept a journal at his house about what he was going to do, when he was going to do it, everything. And then he still wasted everyone's time and went to trial. It was incredible. Like, they had a ridiculously, I think that trial took like 3 days. It was like the fastest trial I've ever seen in my life. I think that trial took like 3 days. So I don't see this guy's trial taking very long, is my point. Like, based on what we're seeing right here. Why he hasn't been charged with murder yet, I don't know, because he did buy that well over $400 worth of cleaning products. So the stuff that they found in the basement was probably cleaned off really, really well as far as like the tools. So who knows? That's probably why they haven't charged him with murder yet. They're probably looking for more evidence. They probably have enough to charge him, but they're probably just trying to like make sure, you know? But at least they have him held right now. And they're not letting him out. At least it doesn't seem like it. So yeah, I'm going to be following that case for sure. Just because, you know, this fucking shit is so disheartening. It's just nice to see, you know, it sucks the circumstances that it took place. Like, it's fucking shitty that this piece of shit had to do what he had to do, and this poor woman had to pay with her life for this guy to have to act out being a piece of shit. But when it's a slam dunk case, what this seems like, it's like something that just helps you like deal with the dirty, ugly shit that takes place in this community. You know, it kind of gives you some recharge of the faith in the justice system. You know what I mean? Like, if there's going to be a piece of shit out there, I like it to be a stupid one. You know what I mean? So that he could be locked up and held accountable. So I'm always grateful when it turns out to be a stupid piece of shit. And they have 3 sons that are orphaned. Yeah. Yeah, it's very sad. But I mean, yeah, it's horrible. But when you say it like that, it's almost like it's a bad thing that they don't have dad. Because I think what it looks like, it's a very good thing that those kids don't have dad in their lives anymore. It's just shitty that he had to take their mom from him, which is fucked up. And I hope that he pays the dearest of prices. But I'm confident, based on what we know of this case so far, that they're going to have enough to just slam dunk this asshole in court. Or at least, you know, enough to make him feel or plead guilty. So hopefully, and as far as the Athena Brownfield case, any updates that take place on that, I'm going to make sure to keep you guys updated on that. And of course, you know, we're always going to do the fun stuff, which is just tearing down, you know, JLR and BHB and all those fools. It's funny to watch her squirm right now because it's just funny. So, you know, we got to have those laughs. We got to count on the idiots to make us laugh, make these things a lot easier to handle and manage. But I am thinking that I'm going to wrap this one up. I was live earlier today because of the hearing for Brian Kohberger, and yeah, I knew I was going to discuss this case later on. So, and I just finished watching, man. Since we're talking true crime right now, or real crime, I just finished watching this thing on Apple TV called Blackbird. And it only caught my attention because I decided to watch the Golden Globes, and like, oh man, don't get me started on the Golden Globes. Okay. So I'm not going to get into that, but some stuff that I had watched that, I mean, that got nominated and even won, and that I never even, you know, I was like, oh wow, that's cool, because I watch a lot of shit. And so I had never seen this Blackbird thing, and the one guy won supporting actor, the guy that played Richard Jewell in the Clint Eastwood version of that movie. So he's a really talented, and he plays basically the same role most of the time, just this really timid. He's also the older kind of overweight guy in Cobra Kai that nobody was accepting, and then like I guess at the end of like the second or third season, like he did something cool or whatever. But yeah, he always plays that same guy, and he won Best Supporting Actor for the Blackbird thing. And the Blackbird thing is about a guy named Larry Hall. Larry Hall was a serial killer, and they basically had this one guy who got sent up for 10 years for being a big time drug dealer and gun runner or whatever. And he they make him go to the same prison that he's in, and they say that they'll just drop his charges if they could get him to tell him the location of a certain girl's body. And this is a true story. This shit fucking happened. This shit happened. But I will say that that actor, that even though he's kind of typecast for his roles, I'll say that actor, that was his best role. That playing Larry Hall, like, he was mind-blowing, like really, really creepy, but also that typecast was perfect for that role too. You know what I mean? Oh, Lisa Marie Presley died. I knew she had a heart attack. No, hold on. Yeah, oh my God. Lisa Marie Presley, daughter of Elvis and Priscilla, died dead at 54. The most strong and loving woman. Oh my God. Lisa Marie Presley, singer-songwriter and daughter of Elvis and Priscilla Presley, has died. She was 54. It is with a heavy heart that I must share the devastating news that my beautiful daughter, Lisa Marie, has left us, Priscilla confirmed in a statement to People Thursday evening. She was the most passionate, strong, and loving woman I have ever known. We ask for privacy as we try to deal with this profound loss. Thank you for the love and prayers. At this time, there will be no further comment. EMTs responded to the singer's home in Calabasas, California, on Thursday for a possible cardiac arrest, just 2 days after Presley attended the 2023 Golden Globes with mom Priscilla Presley and Elvis star Austin Butler. Born in Memphis, Tennessee on February 1st, 1968, exactly 9 months after Elvis and Priscilla's wedding, Lisa Marie was briefly raised in the area before moving to Los Angeles at the age of 4 with her mother following her parents' 1973 divorce. Elvis died on August 1977, making 9-year-old Lisa Marie the joint heir to his estate alongside grandfather Vernon Presley and great-grandmother Minnie Mae Hood Presley. Following their respective deaths in 1979 and 1980, she became the sole heir and also inherited her father's Graceland residence. He'd always wake me up to sing in the middle of the night. Get on the table and sing, Lisa Marie recalled of her time with Elvis on Good Morning America in 2009. I remember him as my dad, but he was a very exciting dad. In October 1968, Lisa Marie married Danny Keough. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, a Chicago-based musician with whom she welcomed 2 children, daughter Riley in at 1989 and son Benjamin in at 1992. After 5.5 years of marriage, the couple divorced in May 1994. Less than a month later, she married singer Michael Jackson, whom she first met at one of her late father's Las Vegas concerts when she was 7 and the King of Pop was still a member of the Jackson 5. I am very much in love with Michael. I dedicated my life to being his wife. I understand and support him, read a statement from Lisa Marie at the time. We both look forward to raising a family. 2 years later, Lisa Marie and Michael Jackson ended their relationship. The one thing that correlates with Michael and with my father on this subject is that they had the luxury of creating whatever reality around them they wanted to create, she told Oprah Winfrey during a 2016 interview, according to the Huffington Post. They could have the kinds of people who were going to go with their program or not go with their program. If they weren't, they could be disposed of. Wow. That's really, really sad, man. That's really, really sad. Rest in peace, Lisa Marie Presley, man. And I had the biggest crush on her too. I thought she was so beautiful. Like my whole life, I always did. I always just thought she was just so gorgeous. Yeah, very sad day. I mean, and how sad for Priscilla, you know? How sad for Priscilla to have lost Elvis and then to have outlived their daughter together. I can't imagine. you know, and to be in such a public eye too. So sad. I can't imagine what Priscilla's going through right now. But I am going to wrap this up, guys. I appreciate all you. I love you guys very much. And we will do this again very soon, my friends.